dangerous and powerful point. Controlling this small 30-mile stretch means ruling the entire world, and blocking it means destroying the whole world. This point is called the Strait of Hormuz. Straits are actually narrow parts of the sea that connect two large bodies of water. Now the question is, what is so special about this small 30-mile area that makes it so powerful and important? About 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by oceans, and around 80% of global trade happens through these seas. At any given time, nearly 50,000 ships are crossing the oceans. But unfortunately, passing through the seas is not easy. Due to natural geography, there are certain straits or choke points in the oceans which, if blocked for any reason, can shake the entire global economy. This happened in March 2021 when a cargo ship got stuck in the Suez Canal for 6 days, causing a loss of about $10 billion to the world. There are several other choke points in the world as well, such as the Panama Canal, which controls trade between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, the Cape of Good Hope, which controls trade around the African continent, the Strait of Gibraltar, which controls trade between the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean, the Danish Straits, which control trade between the Baltic Sea and the North Sea, the Turkish Straits, which control trade between the Mediterranean Sea and the Black Sea, Pacific and Indian Oceans. But none of these points is as dangerous and important as the Strait of Hormuz. The reason is that it is the only route that controls access between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, and from here ships travel to the rest of the world. The Persian Gulf is extremely important because 8 countries share its coastline: Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, the UAE, and Oman. For 4 of these countries, the Strait of Hormuz is the only route to connect with the rest of the world. If you know even a little about the Middle East, you already know that its identity is oil. Even today, oil is the world's largest energy source. About 33% of the world's energy consumption comes from oil, whether in transportation like cars, trains, and ships, or in power plants for electricity generation. Around 70% of oil is used in these sectors. The issue with oil is that it is found in very few places in the world. The 8 countries in this region together hold 50% of the world's oil reserves, meaning half of the world's oil is owned by these countries. And it doesn't end there. 40% of the world's natural gas reserves are also located in these same countries. Natural gas is the 3rd largest energy source in the world after oil and coal. According to British Petroleum, Iran has the largest natural gas reserves in the world. So we can say that the Persian Gulf region has more oil and natural gas reserves than almost anywhere else on the planet. That is why 15% of the world's total energy supply comes from countries in the Persian Gulf, and currently the world has no real alternative to this supply line. However, passing through this 30-mile area is not easy. First, there are 8 islands that ships must avoid, and 7 of these islands are controlled by Iran. The UAE wanted control over 3 of these islands, but in the 1970s, the Iranian military captured them. As a result, Iran effectively controls most of this area. Second, the red highlighted areas you see are extremely deep, making it almost impossible for oil tankers to pass through them. After all these difficulties, most of the oil leaving the Persian Gulf goes toward East Asia. About 76% of this oil goes to just 5 countries. First is China, the world's 2nd largest economy and the largest importer of petroleum. About 45% of China's total oil imports pass through this strait. Next is Japan, one of the world's largest economies, which has to import 100% of its energy. About 80% of that imported energy comes through this same 30-mile choke point. India, the world's 6th largest economy, imports about 70% of its oil and 50% of its natural gas from Persian Gulf countries, all through this route. Similarly, South Korea, the world's 10th largest economy, imports about 70% of its oil from Persian Gulf countries via tankers that pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So if this small 30-mile stretch were blocked for a long time for any reason, the world's 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 10th largest economies would collapse. At the same time, the Persian Gulf countries would lose their main source of revenue. The result would be a massive global economic crisis. That is why this place is the world's most dangerous and important choke point. This is also why all the world's superpowers keep a close eye on it. The United States has built dozens of military bases in the UAE, Oman, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain to monitor Iran and ensure the smooth supply of oil. On the other hand, Iran has repeatedly threatened to block this strait in the event of a war. If that happens, not only will the global economy be shaken, but it is also possible that World War III could begin. If you liked this video,